So they did name him Ham. Poor kid. Oh. So yeah. Today's Good Friday for Christians. I'm going to talk today about the Passion of the Christ. So yeah, 10 years ago the Passion of the Christ was released. It was actually on Ash Wednesday, which fell on February 25th, 2004, and became the highest grossing Bible movie / foreign film / independent film to date. And still is, I believe. And it caused a lot of controversy. Why? Few reasons. Mostly due to the anti-Semitism and Bible inaccuracies and the gratuitous violence. Now the real question is, you'd expect stuff like this to be timeless. Does this still hold up today? Short answer, no. Long answer, no, and a few reasons. One is the, anti-Semitism, and this was before Mel Gibson went.
And you love me. I don't believe you anymore.
What did he just
Think
say?
of your bullshit.
God, yeah. Dude. No. You do not do that. Also, Jesus was a Jew. So that makes no sense. Yeah, so basically the way Mel Gibson framed it is he made it seem like the Jews were responsible for the death of Jesus, and it's not true. That's actually a whole nother can of worms that I could delve into, but really, I'm not too much of a biblical scholar, but just from what I know, Pontius Pilate did, although he made it seem in this film like he was like, oh, okay, the people said so, why not? Die, Jesus, die. Yeah, so it's really, the way, if you want to put it in simpler terms, as someone who's been to Catholic school for 12 years, it's really humanity that killed him. I mean, it makes sense. He died for your sins, if you're Christian. And maybe, if you're Christian, he died for your sins because humanity's a bitch. But that's a whole nother story, and it just get into more debate, which I'm pretty sure is happening right now. If you're watching this video, and if this somehow ends up in super Catholic, super Christian message boards or whatever, yeah, you just calm down. It's okay. It's okay. So, yeah. The second thing is, it's very pretentious. And I know, I'm guilty of throwing that word around a lot. Everyone is, really, at some point. It's usually towards artsy films, or films that are trying to be so artsy that's ask me, that they're it's films that are trying to be artsy and say something new, and it's basically just all in your face. Yeah, this is all in your face too. He uses a lot of slow motion, and he even said that he wanted to do slow motion because to stir emotions in the audience, and plenty of people did. Some people died while watching this film. They had heart attacks and died. Man, that must really suck if you die in a movie theater and the last movie you saw was this basically torture porn. Yeah, which leads me to my third and honestly, the big thing that doesn't hold up with this is it's really violent. And yes, I like some films that contain a lot of violence. Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorite directors. But at least that's his thing, and I guess it's Mel Gibson's thing, whatever. The violence here, as some critics put it, gets in the way of the real message of Jesus. You're only focusing on how he died, and not really what he died for, what he stood for, and it's just really watching 2 hours. Yeah, speaking of, I had to rewatch this, and I actually wound up falling asleep and, like, looking away most times, which is saying a lot, because I can usually handle violence just fine, but with this, I had to look away, because, God, dude, no. He went really overboard with the violence, to the point where Jim Caviezel even said that he was struck by lightning, and, like, he has now a 14-inch scar on his back due to the whippings. They accidentally went for reals. Christ. So anyway, I don't really know how to end this, really, or how to go in further detail, but honestly, this doesn't really hold up anymore. It's inaccurate. It's basically a torture porn, if you can call it that. Or exploitation. Actually, that's a better word. Not porn, because that's... yeah. Actually, a better way to describe this is an exploitation film in a nutshell, because he's exploiting someone who, according to billions of people around the world, lived and did good things and died for their sins, but he's focused too much on the way he died. I mean, South Park summed it up best.
No, dude, if you want to be Christian, that's cool, but you should follow what Jesus taught instead of how he got killed. Focusing on how he got killed is what people did in the Dark Ages, and it ends up with really bad results.
And you know the other thing? I was 13 when this came out. And back then, I sort of used to respect Mel Gibson. I'm like, hey, you're a decent actor, whatever. Cool, you made a Jesus movie. But then, you know what happened. You know the story. He does this, and then he yells at his, what was it, wife, fiance? Yeah, that whole thing. Jesus. Yeah, I know I'm saying Jesus a lot in this, but, and it's just, I can't even watch, like, his stuff anymore due to, like, especially stuff he directs. It's like, if he stars in it, whatever, but if he directs something, now I can't really, I mean, it's been a while since I last saw Apocalypto, so I don't know, but I could barely get through The Passion again. Just thinking this guy has these thoughts, which is very hypocritical, and I could get into a whole argument. Actually, screw it, I'll do it now. I don't get why he hates Jews if Jesus was technically a Jew, because Christianity wasn't really formed yet, if we're going by this term, these terms. And it's, get into a whole argument about this. I don't get why the Jews and the Muslims in Palestine are still fighting if they both believe in one God, and if they're descendants of Abraham, and I don't get why you two are still fighting! I don't get why all three, Jews, Christians, Muslims, are fighting if you're all from Abraham! Seriously! Sit down and educate yourselves! Oh. Peep, you're the only one that understands me. Only, like, I don't know if you're kosher or halal or even vegan. Probably not. It's Dunkin' Donuts. Peep. Peep. Anyways, I'm so sorry for that. I really don't care. No, I really do care. I'm so sorry for that. I just... when you've learned, basically, all this through school, and then you take a world religions class your senior year of high school, Catholic high school, and at the same time you learn these people are fighting, yet they have so much in common. It really just annoys me. So let's get back to the actual review. Lately there's been a lot more Bible movies or like religion related movies. Like there's been quite a few. One of them was already like the Bible mini-series, and they just used Jesus, the Jesus section of it, and made it a movie so they can make more money. God. Yeah, it's totally not Obama at all. That's really not Obama, it's Satan. And now there's, Noah came out. It's probably like the least bad, judging from stuff. Because at least Darren Aronofsky's a competent director, even if you don't like him, although I didn't really like Noah. And really? They named... It's in the Bible, his name is Ham? What? And now... God's Not Dead... to convert Reddit atheists into... To convert Reddit atheists into Christians... like the ones on talk radio, Rush Limbaugh. Recently, a couple days ago, the true story of this kid who had a near-death experience and saw heaven. Heaven is for real. That sounds like a blog post you write. Heaven is for real, yo! Yeah. Ugh. So yeah. And looking back, the only really competent Bible movie I can think of that's done well, or Bible-related movie, from Torah in this case, is really 10 Commandments and Prince of Egypt. That's for kids and adults. They're both pretty good. I think 10 Commandments will be on ABC as they usually do. As they usually play it around this time. If you haven't seen 10 Commandments, you should. Even though parts of it are, well, dated and very melodramatic. And if you have children, watch Prince of Egypt. That's a good movie. It has Ray Fiennes. It has nice animation. Yeah. So, I'm just gonna... Oh, here. Hey, Peep. You're the only one that understands me. I'm gonna eat you now. I'm gonna go right here. They're so squished. Why are they squished in the box? Mmm.